Alright, it's another CiC Qualifier match here in the round of 16, as this is... I had everything done, and then this file got corrupted, so I have to redo this match, because, man, what would life be like if I didn't actually cover every single match of these CiC Qualifiers? It wasn't already covered by somebody else, with, namely, I think MilkFat, I think, is the only other person who really did a lot in the Qualifiers. I believe Scumbag Network might have done something, maybe even SJ. I don't know, but whatever. Round of 16 match here between YLTP Party and Sweet Like Ice. I'm also on a new install of Windows because my old one got corrupted, so if this has issues with video quality, sound quality, please excuse them for now. Hopefully I will be able to tweak some stuff the next time out. I've already done some systems testing, and this should be mostly alright in terms of the overall quality of the production. And we'll see if I need to change anything at any point. But for now, we have a game going on, as Tempest and Ophelia are the first bans here for Majestic. So taking in a couple of junglers. A little interesting that he's prioritizing the jungle bans there, especially considering that for the most part you don't see people do that. The Kronos and Puppet Master ban from Fitzbell, very much more typical. Going, obviously those are two really strong first pick heroes. I don't want to let you have either of them, so ban both of those out. So bans from both sides, making a fair degree of sense. Perhaps a little bit more sense there for the guys of Sweet Like Ice. But no doubt, Ophelia and Tempest, strong heroes. So I can understand why Majestics might think, yeah, let's not do that. Obviously that more or less, I think, gives away the idea that they're not going to run a jungler. But we'll see if Sweet Like Ice actually picks up on that and wants to do anything about it. I sort of doubt that they will. I don't think they're particularly keen on running junglers, but I could certainly be wrong. Oh, right, I have my mouse actually in this, so we'll see. Let's run the mouse on this one, and I don't usually have it visible, but we'll see how it affects things, but I hope it doesn't prove a distraction. I know other people use it, so I'm not that concerned, but whatever. First three picks are out here for the Legion side: Nymphora, Kraken, and Dr. Repulsor. So bit interesting here. Kraken almost certainly going to be a solo laner, I think, in this setup. Doctor and Nymphora very likely to be paired together, as Nymphora is a pretty solid babysitter, having that stun and the mana and health, of course. Awfully difficult to kill somebody if she's interested in protecting them. And the tri-lane is definitely a possibility here. Nymphora not the best tri-lane hero in the world, but Dr. Repulsor does tri-lane fairly well. And if they manage to pick up somebody else with a targeted stun, I think, something that has a little bit more range than Doctor's opposite charges, that could prove a reasonably powerful tri-lane. The initial ban of Benzington from Majestics makes me think this is going to be a suicide Kraken. So likely going to see a Doctor in a short lane, Kraken in the suicide, so Legion side's looking for either a jungler or a second support, as well as a mid lane hero. And they have some options in that. They could also go suicide, of course, and mid that Kraken. Hellborn side have picked up Bubbles, Ravener, and Engineer, so likely going to see the NG-Rav middle combination, putting Bubbles in the suicide lane. Of course, they still have the option to run a jungler, as they have no second support picked up quite yet, and they're likely looking for another short laner here. Ravener can be run as a short laner. I don't particularly like him in that carry role. I don't think he does enough. He's really good. He's pretty good as an initiator, actually. He's not even that good. The numbers on him are pretty sad, but regardless, he's a solid enough hero as an initiator. As a carry, I think he lacks a little bit. If he gets the kind of farm that he needs, he doesn't carry as hard as some other heroes, so why would you waste that, you know? If you were going to get that farm anyway, then he would be the best option, and if you don't get that farm, he really isn't, because he can't carry at all unless that he gets to that 500 to 600 GPM mark. He just does not have enough natural ability to carry without those items, so not a big fan of short lane Rav, but hopefully we'll see it in the middle lane, as Ravener and she's a very, very strong combination. Obviously a lot of kill potential there, and certainly the tri-lane is very much in order as well for them if they want to either man up or go defensive in that tri-lane. That gives them an option, and with the Dr. Repulsor, I actually like to see that. I like to see an aggressive tri-lane and see if they can shut down Doctor as early as possible. But bans are out here. Benzington, Moon Queen, and Wretched Hag being taken out by Majestic, so one suicide, one short laner, and one suicide / short laner. Obviously recognizing that the Hellborn perhaps a little bit more focused on that short lane, I think, than the suicide lane, as they have Bubbles, which fits better as a suicide than a short laner in my opinion, but addressing the possibility that they could either mid or short the Bubbles as well. Obviously Bubbles is a very versatile hero, and that is therefore he has potential in that role. Rally, Rhapsody, and Torture are going to advance here for the Hellborn side, suggesting they're going to run a jungler, so I expect to see the Parasite pickup or the Solstice pickup with one of these last two selections, as they're banning out really two of the strongest supports in the game. Both Rhapsody and Torture making it all the way to the end of the second banning stage before they are eliminated from the possibilities. A little surprising that neither side prioritized either of those heroes, and I don't think it's a good move at all, obviously. And for a very strong hero, I think very underrated support hero. Engineer also quite powerful, but both Rhapsody and Torture are generally considered more powerful heroes than either of them. So perhaps a little bit of an error, I think, in the judgment as it calls to the selection of either of those. Master of Arms will be the first pick out of the second banning stage. Sorry. And he will likely be playing that second support role, so like we said before, probably not going to see a jungler here from the Legion side. Could certainly be possible, but I suspect we're going to be looking for a mid hero, as there are a number left on the board, Magnus being the most obvious, and I think that would definitely be my pickup here if they're going to go for something. I'd like to see the Magnus. Pebbles, definitely also an option. Meraxis is there, Pharaoh is there, Gauntlet, obviously, with Devourer and Prisoner, any of the hook heroes, so quite a lot of initiator types left on the board. So with that versatility, I'd like to see Kraken in the Suicide lane. It is going to be the Pebbles. Like I said before, I think I would have preferred the Magnus. It would have given them some more AoE potential. Right now, they're very, very single target heavy, but obviously Nymphora and Pebbles a very strong combination, and we will probably not see that. I'm thinking we're going to see Doctor and Nymph in the bottom lane, Pebbles and Master in mid, with Kraken in the long. So we'll see how that shapes up, but it seems to me Legion lanes are relatively predictable. We could certainly see a tri-lane coming out with either Pebbles or Dr. Repulsor as the focus farm, but options are definitely present. Hellborn, I expect to see the Parasite right here. It would pair quite well with the Ravener and Bubbles. No, it isn't the Magnus. So it's going to be a support Magnus then. Or it could be a jungle Magnus. I believe Fitzbell is their jungle / second support player. I know Adro is their hard support. Balthazar is their hard carry. I think Way Too Easy is their mid, and Viver is their suicide. So I think we're going to see the second support Magnus here, very possibly in the jungle. Could see some roaming coming out then as well. And interesting that we're going to see Balthazar on the Bubbles. Not a huge fan of that. I don't know why you'd short lane of Bubbles and Suicide and Drunken. That doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me, but whatever. It's their draft. They can do what they want. Kelpfield, apparently. Holds the... Yeah, okay, I get that. I'm sorry. This is a new install on, so it might be telling me some stupid shit that everybody already knows because it thinks that I'm a total noob, which is not totally untrue, but not completely apt either. Anyway, Hellborn side going to be running down this bottom lane, looking to put some wards up in the Legion jungle and try to block out their ability to get the pull and get stacks as well, of course, because Doctor is somewhat reliant on stacks. Not really reliant, I think is a great word, but he really likes them. In the meantime, Pebbles is going to head middle, and Kraken, no surprise, going to go Suicide. So we'll see if this is going to be a solo mid Pebbles and a tri-lane, or if it's going to be a dual mid Pebbles. I suspect we're going to see a tri-lane here just because of the way these supports are hanging out, and I'd like to see the Hellborn counter with a tri-lane of their own. Put Bubbles short, Drunken Master in the mid, and have the tri-lane Rav down here. That could be really, really powerful. With Engineer, Magnus, and Ravener, obviously 3 stuns here in this tri-lane. Although if they were going to do that, I don't think I would have picked the Magnus. I probably would have taken something like Andromeda, maybe even a Glacius, if they're going to run this tri-lane. So perhaps not going to do it off the bat, but I think that when they realize that the Legion is running the defensive tri-lane, they're going to switch up their decisions. Ravener going to be in the bottom lane for now, and I suspect he'll be joined by at least one support hero, because I don't think that they're going to be a true Suicide Ravener, especially because that's not typically Way Too Easy's role. I believe he is the usual mid player. And Biver going to head middle, so he'll be taking either the solo or dual mid, depending on whether they decide to man up against this tri-lane. And obviously up top, it's going to be Kraken versus Bubbles. So let's talk about matchups then. Kraken versus Bubbles. Kraken should win this. He's got really more laning presence. Bubbles' burst damage is not enough to take him out. And if Kraken is patient with his mana usage, hits level 6, he absolutely has the capacity to pick off Bubbles when he gets his ultimate. So up top, I actually expect to see the Suicide Kraken win this lane. He's also got quite a bit of regen here. 6 tangos, 3 mana pots, and a health potion. So wouldn't be surprised at all if he won that. Bubbles, meanwhile, sitting on 3 tangos and a health pot, so probably not going to be doing quite as well, but we'll see what happens up there. Word Sight going down here. Will spot out Adro and Senelix. Sorry, Smithix and Senelix. Off to the side, Magnus looking for something over here. Gets an auto attack. Gets the second, actually stuns there, but the second part of the Navori's hits him. They're going to try to block this out here. Keg stun will connect, and Nymphora going to get some trouble. Ball Lightning is going to hit just barely, and that's going to be the kill onto Nymphora. So Bloodless goes there way too easy, and the guys on the Hellborn side, nice pickup for them, no doubt. And obviously going to help them quite a lot in this aggressive tri-lane. We'll see how they can turn that kill into hopefully some lane control and some dominant stuns coming out here. But Ravener will get stunned out. Ball Lightning goes on to Dr. Repulsor. A couple more auto attacks and he will be died actually, yes. So he tries to get the health pot off and finish that and get away, but ends up falling instead. Meanwhile, middle lane, Pebbles versus Drunken Master, so it should be relatively even. I think I give DM just a bit of an advantage here, as he does have the escape mechanism. Pebbles' burst damage very valuable, but Drunken's pretty tanky, so it's unlikely that he'll be able to get the kill on Drunken, unless Drunken misplays pretty badly and sits in lane when Pebbles has a ton of mana and he doesn't have enough health, so we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, Rome's coming over here, as both Magnus and Engineer look to jump on top of this Pebbles, and Pebbles is in some trouble. I think you realize what's going to happen. Drops the Stalagmites, do not hit Magnus, though. And Matt's going to be under kill here, as Magnus picks it up. 3-0 right off the bat, as the guys on Sweet Like Ice taking a pretty early substantial advantage here. Top lane, Bubbles and Kraken going at it. Bubbles actually putting a fair bit of harass down onto Kraken. Will have to charge away, but he'll be alright. And nothing really to come of that. So up top here, 274 gold per minute on Balthazar compared to 190 on Majestics. Bit of an issue. It feels like Kraken should be doing better in this lane. He's actually used all of his regen, so I don't know how the hell that happened, but he should not have lost this lane nearly as hard as he seems to be. But props to Balthazar for winning a lane that I personally think probably he shouldn't have. Kraken missing a CS there. Meantime, bottom lane, tri-lane continues. Nymphora way off to the side. Not really sure what she's doing over there. They have vision of her. Middle lane, meanwhile, stuff's going down, but Pebbles will be able to get away. He's Drunken plus some harass damage. And in the top, actually, they will get the kill on the Majestics as... Okay, that was interesting. But Balthazar here with the Shell Serve actually does hit, doesn't port to it, and the weird charge there. Anyway, in the meantime, Nymphora going to take a Keg Stun and going to follow up with Lava Swords. Ball Lightning hits quite Dr. Repulsor as he eats that for his buddy. Now they're trying to turn this onto Ravener. Eats the Fork Lightning there, but he's probably got enough of move speed to get out of there and will be just fine. So aggression coming out once again from the Hellborn side, as they don't pick up the kill that time, but they forced Nymphora way far back. She has to eat a health potion, or sorry, a mana potion. And you can really tell here that the Legion side's supports are rather afraid of the potential for aggression. Dr. Repulsor sitting at 250 gold per minute, so not doing too badly at all. Way too easy at 290. Not a huge surprise considering he is 1-0-1. Doing a little bit better, obviously. But Doctor's Farm really not too horrible considering they've lost a couple of heroes in this bottom lane, and one of them was him. And we'll see if they can keep that going, or perhaps even increase the ability, or if this tri-lane from the Hellborn side is going to continue dominating. I do expect them to do fairly well. Ravener going to pop an electric track right there. Mid lane, meanwhile, Pebbles so close. Yeah, you're dead, buddy. Yeah, so he'll fall there as Drunken manages to pick off up top Kraken. Running down this Bubbles, who will just run away and be totally fine. Kraken does not have boots, and Bubbles does have steam boots, so obviously the move speed advantage substantially in favor of Balthazar on that Bubbles. Kraken gonna pot up, and he should be okay. Mid lane, meanwhile, Nymphora is gonna rotate, and we'll see if they actually try to turn this into a kill. I suspect they won't be able to take out this Drunken Master. He's got Untouchable active, and the Zeal Stun misses. A little too anxious, perhaps. Probably should have waited for the Stalagmites from Pebbles to try to get that kill, and instead ends up being a successful defense for Drunken Master, and really just not that much aggression in the first place. Taking a look at the GPM charts down here as things are getting underway. Drunken Master at 380 gold per minute, so doing extremely well. And Balthazar also doing very well up top here at 330. Dr. Repulsor's farm is picking up, has now overtaken, actually, Ravener in this bottom lane. So not a bad performance by him at all. And we'll see. I know there's a... For something that makes this a little bit more transparent. I don't know what it is, but I forget. Anyway, after the side here, Nick, we're going to take a ball lightning, and she's going to die. Oh my god, opposite charges are there, and they're going to turn him to Ravener. Turret going down, trying to finish her off, but she's not going to be able to get it up time. Meanwhile, Majestics actually will fall as... Come on, go back. As drops the kelp field there and avoids the charge, so well done there, last out of the time. And let's see how many times we can have that bugged graphic come up. Apparently it's 3. And here, Pebbles looking to roam. Obviously, they do have some wards down, though. It's just a rev wards. They don't know exactly where he is, but they're going to spot him out. And Pebbles will be running away here as the supports and Drunken Master are collapsing on him a little bit. Gonna drop Lex. Stalagmites do not hit Engineer though, and he's gonna take some damage. Bright Lightning hits a couple, but so does the Keg Stun. And Pebbles a few auto attacks away. Lunge will for Stagger be able to finish him off. Meanwhile, Lava Surge gonna hit Master Runs. That's gonna get 2-0. Off the side, Ball Lightning gonna connect onto Dr. Repulsor. Is not 6, does not have access to his ultimate yet. And 4 trying to get away. Gonna drop a Zeal Stun. No, she doesn't have enough mana, and she's gonna be in a lot of trouble here. Opposite charges go down under Drunken Master. She's gonna get pushed away though, as DM realizes this is not the greatest engagement of the world. Meanwhile, off to the side, actually, Fitzbill drops, thanks to Kraken coming in, as he drops the Torrent and gets the charge. No, just a Splash Auto, as he tried to Steam Bath but was not successful. Ravener now trying to run away all of a sudden. Kraken is level 6, has the release to Kraken, drops it here on top of Ravener, takes the Ball Lightning as both stuns do connect. Ravener activating the Storm Blades here, but Master Arm's coming off the side. Cork Lightning will finish him off, so way too easy there. Falls as the dive from the Hellborn side, a little bit excessive there, trying to clean up some kills under the tower, not successful. Bubbles coming in off the side, trying to get a kill Dark Master, one more auto attack, not enough, and he's now going to be in a lot of trouble, will also fall. So, the taunts coming out from Balthazar here, as he's cleaning up kills. And Magnus with the Striders, trying to catch up to Kraken. He'll Lava Surge away though, or sorry, charge away, and he'll be just fine, so no offense there. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, we'll see if Pebbles can survive, because there's going to be some incoming aggression here. Lava Surge available from Magnus, takes the Ball Lightning and a Lava Surge. Kegston goes down as well, but Dr. Repulsor's here. Going to try to turn this around a little bit. Pebbles going to get down, and he should be okay. Starts chugging that bottle. Engineer going to now be in some trouble. Gets the toss, and that's going to be the death. And 4 in the middle of everything as Drunken Master comes in. Couple auto attacks will finish her off. Gets slowed down, and that will be the kill, though. Lava Surge not even necessary here. Ball Lightning will be taken by Dr. Repulsor. Has the ultimate, obviously, so he's not in too much trouble. Trying to get a kill on Ravener, will do so. Invis Rune up top, doesn't look like anybody's going to get it, as Repulsor's jumping over the ledge, trying to survive here. Last little attack, will finish him off. And Magnus going to Lava Surge onto 3. Here comes Balthazar with the Shell Surf. They're going to try to finish off. Master will get so with it. Kelpfield. Pebble's going to die as well. And Kraken going to be the last one to fall, as they're looking to finish off the Genocide. I believe everybody on the Legion side died there. I think, yes. So obviously Smithix respawning before the last kill was had, but that ended up being an actual Genocide, as the Hellborn team just completely cleaned up. And well played to them, because the rotation that comes in from this Hellborn squad is pretty impressive. They all have very short cooldown stuns. Keg Stun, Drunken Stun, Lava Surge, Ball Lightning. They can be used multiple times in a fight, and Drunken Master will be able to get away here. Perhaps going to try to turn this around. Opposite charges go down from Dr. Repulsor. He's going to push back in. Keg Stun does not connect. Stalagmites don't either, though. Lava Surge is available. Get a stun there, and toss goes down. Doctor going to jump out of there as Drunken takes the stun, and the Zeal Stun will get finished off here by Nighty on that Pebbles. Torrent goes down on the Engineer. One more auto attack will finish him off, so Kraken gets the kill there. Lava Surge a little bit too late, and Magma's going to be able to run away, as he does not want any more of that. So the Genocide from the Hellborn side, but they do get followed up on with a couple of kills as they continue to try to get aggressive on Dr. Repulsor, and this time it does backfire. Still up 14 to 7 in hero kills, and about 11k, no, sorry, that's, there you go, 5k golden experience. It was like 11k, really? No, that was the total that each side had. Middle lane, meanwhile, Engineer is still level 6, so obviously not having access to his ultimate reduces the amount of team fight impact he can have pretty substantially, of course. But on the Legion side, both supports are also not level 6, so not the biggest deal in the world. And in general, Legion side's team fight is not particularly good, so middle lane, meanwhile, actually, Pebbles, they're going to dive really hard on this Lava Surge plus the Keg Stun, and they're going to get the kill. So the response from Legion, not quite fast enough, because Kraken does teleport in, but obviously not nearly in time. Haste up top will be bottled by Magnus. Meanwhile, over here, Kraken going to take yet another stun, but they're going to try to turn this on Engineer. Nice keg, pushes him away, and at least Kraken doesn't really do anything as Lobster to finish him off. Plus, Nempora is going to get turned on. Master Arm's going to be the next person to fall, and as a couple more auto attacks will finish him off. Yes, there we go. So both supports and Kraken fall here after Pebbles dies. Top lane, Falcons are going to finish off the tower, and man, Sweet Like Ice is just absolutely in control of this game. Taking their first tower, up 18-7 in hero kills, and the Legion side just don't have anywhere near the farm that they do. 500 GPM on both Drunken Master and Bubbles, and it sort of makes you wonder how long they're going to be able to last in this game. Only 11 minutes in, of course. They can't even CC for another 4 minutes, but Drunken Master going to Doctor going to take a bunch of stuff down here, but we'll just be able to run away as the Magnus Eruption doesn't do too much, thanks to his slipperiness. Top lane Kelfield goes on to Bubbles and the Song of the Sea. Couple more auto attacks will finish him off, and that's going to be
in these waters.
Over here, Doctor going to turn this on to Ravener. Zeal Stun is available. No, actually it was already used. And then now they're trying to do this on Dr. Repulsor. So Ravener putting a couple auto attacks in. And she's going to drop the energy field. That's going to do a fair bit, but he's probably going to pay for this. They're going to trade Doctor for Ravener. And Engineer also going to fall. Going to try to get a kill on Nymphora here before he goes away. Kexon does hit, as Nymph has no ability to dodge it whatsoever. So they're going to trade both supports and Ravener for Dr. Repulsor and... Sorry, support for support and Rav for Doctor. Obviously a very good thing, especially if they can pick up this kill onto Master of Arms. Magnus does have a Law of Surge in 5 seconds, so this should be a kill as they're chasing here behind the tower into the woods and the Law of Surge comes. So well done from Magnus. Teleport coming in here. We'll see if he can get away. Zeal Stun actually does not connect, and the Steam Map probably helped out a little bit. Meanwhile, the lane Doctor will finish on the tower. Kraken can be in some trouble, but here comes Bubbles. Will be able to finish him off. Ruthless Kraken hits nothing. Dr. Repulsor, meanwhile, taking a stun from Drunken Master, a couple more auto attacks, and he's going to be able to get away with his ultimate. Is he going to live? Yeah, Balthazar has a shell surf up in a couple of seconds. He's going to try to snipe this, and he's not going to connect, I don't think, as it's just too far away. So, Doctor barely living there. And no, Balthazar actually going to try to do this. And Song of the Sea goes down. One more auto attack. He will get the kill. In the meantime, though, the Legion side is collapsing on them pretty heavily. Drunken Master could be in some trouble. Avoids the Zeal Stun in the first place. Nice Shell Surge actually goes into the Zeal Stun, though. It doesn't connect on anything. Drunken Master going to be a sacrificial lamb as Bubbles sports away. And he will live. So Bubbles lives, Drunken dies, obviously. The trade ends up being Kraken and Doctor for just a Drunken. Definitely a good decision from the Legion side, choosing to die of that, as they're continuing to shut down a Doctor Repulsor. And of course, a Doctor without early farm is extremely difficult to get off the ground, and right now sitting at 250 gold per minute. He's got Steam Boots, a power supply, and that's it. Really not having a good game, really suffering hard. Obviously, this is going to significantly hurt their ability to transition into the late game, especially considering Hellborn side has 500 GPM on both Bubbles and Drunken. Meanwhile, off the side, Drunken getting caught. Doctor getting caught once again. Zeal Stun actually will stop the eruption, and Doctor should be just fine here. We'll see if either of these heroes can survive. Nope, on an Engineer, and Magnus is going to finish off Dr. Repulsor. So Doctor jumping in there without a lot of health and Lava Surge actually gets the kill, which is kind of shocking, especially because it looks like Magnus might be okay here. We see the collapse coming out from Kraken, but Master's going to run away. And Magnus will be just fine here. So trading Engineer there for Dr. Repulsor, and the aggression just continues. 6 deaths on Dr. Repulsor, and Fastic just having an awful game, as he's at 226 GPM. Everybody on the Hellborn side, except for Engineer, is above everybody on the Legion side. And really, it's Engie and Doctor have about the same amount of farm. And that's when you know things are not going great. When the opposing team's hard support is doing well as your hard carry. Top lane, meanwhile, Stalagmites are going to catch Balthazar out, and he will fall. So the lockdown and bubble successful. And that will be the end of his onslaught streak. Meanwhile, off the side here, Drunken Master actually has the shield breaker, Soul's Bulwark, and he's going to try to kill the Master of Arms here, but he's getting the jukes off, gets into the woods, and Drunken gonna find him. Nope, takes the charge shot, and gets... Where are you? Wow, Drunken, really? He's not gonna get that. Next time we'll hit a bunch with a Breeze. The Kraken will be able to finish off Crit Spell. Meanwhile, Dr. Repulsor does fall, but so does Drunken Master. They're still trying to kill this Master of Arms, drop the power supply, and the charge shot. He's gonna live, maybe. One more auto attack, Kegstun goes down, Master Engineer will fall. Ravener trying to finish off a couple of heroes here. Master of Arms still alive somehow. And is he going to take the last shot? Yes, so Finally, Master of Arms dies, but in the meantime, Ravner sacrifices himself. Drunken Master coming right back in. I believe that was a buyback, as those on Magnus, and they're going to try to get a kill here, and Nymphoria is off the side. Lava Surge not going to connect, but they know where she is now, and she will be in some trouble. And Invis Rune. Oh, that's painful. So, heavy rune luck there, as Nymph picks up the Invis. And we'll be able to just walk right on past Mr. Bubbles. And should be totally okay. As they obviously have no detect here. Nymphoria can actually look for the jump, and I suppose they're jumping in, and the Zeal will miss. So that's not going to be anything, and now Bubbles going to try to turn this around a little bit, perhaps. Dr. Pulsar coming in from the side. Here comes Magnus, though, and Nymphoria will be the first one to fall, as they're going to try to turn this, but Drunken's coming in as well. Pebbles likely going to fall. Toss goes down onto Bubbles. He will take the splash auto and die. Now Pebbles trying to get away here. Lava Surge is going to prevent that. Ends up being a 2-for-1 so far. Perhaps even, I think, considering its support and the relatively farm, but not particularly farm 90U for the 500 GP on Bubbles. Meanwhile, off the side here, Drunken's really diving hard. He's going to try to drop the lunge and stagger and live, but that's not going to happen. Lava Surge comes in from Magnus. Now all of a sudden, he's going down really far. Drops another dust. Engineer going to drop here off of the side. Drops an energy field. And will be okay, as that didn't do too much. Doctor can come up the cliff and try to finish off this Magnus. Meanwhile, Blue Scratch going to jump up into as Fitzgerald dies. There's going to be a pretty easy kill, way too easy on that Ravner, and that's going to be another one on Engineer. So it ends up actually being a genocide.
Genocide!
The Legion side finish off their opponent, so all of a sudden, they're sort of back in this here. Still down 7.5k gold, 3.5k experience, but at 60 minutes in, that's not the worst deficit. This is definitely recoverable for them, so feels like the Hellborn's aggression is a little bit too much, as they had a pretty substantial resource lead, and instead of exploiting it, they just were like, alright, let's throw ourselves behind tier 2 towers and continue to dive one at a time and try to get these kills. And obviously that does not work out very well, because, duh, that's a stupid strategy. And we'll see what happens, but so far YLTP sort of bringing this one back from the edge a little bit, as, you know, 5 minutes ago, it was looking like they had no hope. This was a 15-minute CC, but if Sweet Like Ice are going to continually shoot themselves in the foot with hyper-aggressive plays... Okay, sorry, my mouse freaked out for a little bit there. And it's still not clicking correctly, but whatever. Meanwhile, here off to the side, actually, they will get the kill on Smithic, so let's watch that and see what happens in for... Oh, hello! It's Drunken! It's like 3 auto attacks and he's dead. Obviously, Souls will work on Drunken Master, helping out quite a lot. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Pebbles going to get jumped on, and he will get the Master's Call, but that's probably not going to be enough. 2 more auto attacks. Drops Stalagmites here. Chuck also, and we'll see if they can actually finish him off here. Pebbles all of a sudden living. Lava Surge still not killing him. Meanwhile, Ravener dies. Pebbles 1 more auto attack from Engineer will finish him off. Steam Bath in the meantime, but Magnus is still in a lot of trouble. Lava Surge is not available, and he will fall, so... trying to live here, and so is Engineer. Gonna drop the keg, doesn't actually hit anything except for him. Kelfield on the 3 though, and Doctor will take the Kelfield stun, but gonna try to finish off this Engineer. Master of Arms in the meantime taking a bunch of damage. Repulsor taking all sorts of stuff from the energy field, but we'll be able to finish off this guy. And Nymphoria actually pouring in with her ultimate, but Balthazar should be mostly okay here. Has shelter available. We're gonna see if they can finish off this Nymphoria. No. That was close. Nymph barely getting out of there with a teleport. And it looks like that'll be the end of the engagement. So 32 to 24 hero kills here in this game. Obviously an enjoyable match, as the aggression has been continuous.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower.
Basically got 3 kills per minute. And that's always nice. Obviously both these teams are extremely aggressive with you know, Magnus, Bubbles, Ravner, Drunken, Pebbles, Kraken, all heroes that are looking for ganks consistently. Not too many heroes that are just going to like sit back and farm time. Meanwhile, Drunken Master going to try to catch up to Nymphoria once again. Takes the back end of the Zeal though, and we'll see if they can turn this around at all. Stalagmites just hit the 1. Also takes the ultimate from Master of Arms, but that's not going to be enough as Drunken Master finishes her off. So they try to save her, but obviously Nymph super squishy here. 777 health and no investments, no armor increasing items, really just the power supply. Meantime, Doctor is farming up top here, 316 gold per minute, getting his farm back a little bit, still not really being able to compete with either levels or Drunken Master. So not doing too badly, as the gold charts are not quite as uneven as they were a few minutes ago. Fitzbell sort of hanging around here. Double Average Kraken, not something he wants to encounter. Kraken also the proud owner of a portal key, so obviously having the initiation potential pretty strong there. Pebble's still looking for his. It's 20 minutes in. He might choose to forego it here, really. 250 gold per minute. He probably should have had it by now. I'm kind of surprised he doesn't. But meanwhile, new 4 port going on up here, and Kraken with his new PK looking to jump on this Ravener. Zeal Stun gets taken on both ends, takes the charge, and a couple auto attacks. Will get the kill here as Ravener's completely boxed in. So he dies, almost takes M4 with him, but not quite successful. Nice port there from Nymph. So we'll see if Pebbles chooses to go the portal key here. I assume he will, just because it's so core on that hero. In the meantime, up top, actually, release the Kraken and get dropped on Bubbles as he's trying to get the counter kill, but it's not going to happen. Bubbles take the kill field and gets the kill into 4 for no reason.
Good, didn't it?
As Mythics, I think, must misjudge the kill field distance because he could have lived there pretty easily. Bubbles does fall. Meanwhile, Fitzbell also taking a bunch of damage. Shock
Legion Tower.
Actually, Fascinating getting the kill there. Meanwhile, no, sorry, it's a Bloodstone. It's like, before he's dead, how can she be porting him? How is it red? It should be green because she's in the Legion, but whatever. Top lane, meanwhile, they'll finally put some pressure up here. Notable that they've taken 0 towers so far. Obviously not the strongest pushing team in the world. Better anti-push than push. But still, 21 minutes in. That's a pretty serious problem, obviously, as the Hellborn have taken all 3 outer towers. Cliff goes down here, but it's not going to stop.
The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
Legion get their first tower kill of the game, and they'll be happy with that. Pebble's picking up his portal key, so no huge surprise there. Hellborn also had taken the second tier tower on bottom, so obviously the push and map control advantage substantially in their favor. And we'll see what Legion can do right now. Now they have the gank potential. They've got Kraken and Pebbles. They've got Amphora, who's 1 level away from 11, which obviously will help her port out quite a lot. And I'd like to see them get a level on Nip and start getting some aggressive wards up, trying to gank out this Drunken Master in particular. Bubbles is a bit annoying, but he won't scale particularly well, so 452 gold per minute on Bubbles not as big a deal. Drunken Master can absolutely carry. So shutting him down as much as possible is definitely priority number 1, I would say. He is working on a Shrunken Head, not a huge surprise considering the massive magic damage on this late Legion team. Obviously Dr. Repulsor, Pebbles, Kraken, and Master of Arms, and Amphora really. Having plenty of magic damage, having plenty of stuns and CC tools, so getting rid of that with the Shrunken, very, very important. Meanwhile, Ravener picking up the Elder Parasite, so he'll be attacking real fast and getting a lifesteal from that. Shrunken is finished on Drunken Master. Bubbles has a Grimoire of Power, so he's going for a farm route. We'll see how that works out for him. I suspect it won't work out super well, as Bubbles just isn't that type of hero that does a whole bunch of stuff with farm, no matter how much he gets, pretty much. I mean, I've seen a 600 plus GPM Bubbles fail to carry as Stalagmites actually missed there, and they're drawing all 4 ports here. Drunken Head goes down on Drunken Master, so he's going to try to get through this. Release the Kraken will stop some stuff. Kelfield is available, hits onto 2 here, and they're going to try to live through this, but Kelfield still gets taken by both, actually, the turn pushes it out. That was the first one to fall. Kraken right after him, though. Zeal Stun gets taken by Magnus. Repulsor's going to run away. He should be okay. 4 off to the side, going to put a port down. Is she going to live? Yes, just barely again. Getting out with that TP, so ends up being a 2 for nothing as they try to jump onto Drunken Master, but they aren't able to land the Stalagmites, so turns it around. Kongor perhaps going to be the focus here, as they picked off both the initiators. They're down for 30 seconds, and that will absolutely be the next port of call here for the Hellborn side, as they're looking to finish off Kong. Should be difficult, if not impossible, for the Legion side to contest this. I think this is just not something they can deal with at this point. Obviously, with Pebbles and Kraken dead, it's not helping matters, but it's possible that the Hellborn could take this even if those heroes were up with some decent warding. Fitzbell going to farm here in the middle, so Token going to go down right here.
Kongor
and
has
gets
been
it.
slain.
And it's going to be Drunken Master, as I believe he dropped the teleport. And we'll pick up a token, so definitely the correct person to have it on there. 5 for 10, 4 and 14 here, 486 GPM, so having a really strong game. Hadn't quite finished going over the Hellborn's items. Magnus has picked up a Ring of Sorcery, and he'll be working on a portal key now, 1800 gold, so not far away from it at all. And that'll obviously be a pretty major pickup for him, as Magnus just thrives with that PK, the initiation potential, and the team fight ability of that hero once he gets it going is pretty impressive. On the Legion side, Kraken working to finish off a Helm of the Black Legion. Not surprising, actually, that he's going for that so late. 25 minutes in, it's not going to be particularly effective, especially because he doesn't have vestments. Hellborn have Bubbles, Magnus, Engineer, Ravener, and you're not going investments on Kraken. I'd much rather see the Shaman's Headrest than the Helm of Black Legion, so that's a bit of an issue there. I think his ability to take magic damage is going to be severely compromised. 1800 health, so he's definitely a tanky dude, but all that magic is going to rip straight through his armor and hurt him pretty badly here. And forced to level 10, so once again looking for that level 11, as that's a pretty important level for her. Get level 2 of that ultimate. Not too much, just a bracer on top of the power supply, so perhaps looking for a Astrolabe at some point, but obviously that's a ways off for her, considering 143 GPM, so we'll see what happens. And anyway, 25 minutes in, that might not be the most optimal pickup anyway. The 600 health heal or whatever it is, 300? 300. It's 300, isn't it? Not as important 30 minutes into the game as it is 10 minutes into the game, obviously. Meanwhile, Master Rums I missed, has investments, so he's recognizing the magic damage potential. And he also has Striders and Engineers, so decently geared actually, 210 GPM, not bad at all. Fitzbug in the spot Kraken here, but no aggression from either side. Pebbles looking on the portal key and the Steam Boots power supply. He must have something else, because he had the portal key a while ago, and since then apparently has gotten nothing. And Courier does not have anything on it, so hard to tell. Dr. Repulsor did go for the Grimoire, so I might have gone Icon. It says that I want to farm, but the Hellborn side has been so aggressive that the Icon, I think, would have been much more valuable. And at the point, I mean, he actually got it in a fairly good amount of time, 387 GPM, so his farm is really picked up. But at the same time, I feel like it's not going to be quite as valuable as the Icon would have been, considering the extreme amount of damage we had.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower.
So that leaves the mid as the only tower available for the Legion side in the outer portion of the map, outside the base. Meanwhile, they're mostly grouped up here in middle, so they're looking to take down this last tower. Obviously, the token on Drunken Master, pretty key in their ability to push. Pause going out, of course, but we have replay casting ability to just skip that crap. And middle lane, Master continuing to use his ability to anti-push with the boiling water in this alt. Drunken Master taking a fair bit of tower damage here, but will back out. And perhaps just going to sit here and tank this. He can kill his tower, especially if anybody else helps at all.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower. The Legion have destroyed a Hellborn tower.
So bottom tower actually falls to the creeps. It's a little surprising, but I was going out once again, and once again we don't care. Dr. Pulse is going to jump in here, do some damage, but opposite Drunken not hugely surprised. Slagmites go down there as well. They're going to try to counter-initiate here. Drunken in some trouble. Will lose a token here. Drops energy field on top of Pebbles. Immediately gets purged off the ultimate. Master Arms though, and takes the Kelp field, so Pebbles going to be in a lot of trouble here. So is Master Arms. Falling in the connect. That goes 90U, and going to be the last hit on Sentinel. So that's 2 down already in favor of the Hellborn side. And they're going to back off now as Drunken has used his Shrunken Head. And perhaps looking for a mid-tower push. Master Arms buying back pretty much immediately. But 90U does not have that capacity on Pebbles, so this is likely to be a mid-tower kill unless they have the initiation from Kraken. They do still have to release the Kraken up, so could certainly see that. And Hellborn are playing this fairly conservatively. Demonic Breastplate finished up on Drunken Master, so I think if they wait for that, they're not going to have too much of a window before Pebbles comes back up. And we'll see what they choose to do. Continuing to push here up top. Meanwhile, actually, Dr. Repulsor is going to jump onto Balthazar there, but he will just portal key away. Obviously, portal key has been picked up on him. Has also 3,400 gold, so I expect to see the Sheepstick or the Hellflower. Either of those obviously be very valuable in knocking down Dr. Repulsor. Considering it's cheaper, I'd probably go Hellflower, because what you really need is that silence. Obviously, the sheep effect a little bit more valuable, and that's nice to have, but he can have a Hellflower in a couple of minutes as opposed to a while. Release of Kraken, meanwhile, getting dropped on Drunken Master, so he's going to pop a Shrunken and try to turn this around. Probably not going to do so. In the meantime, Ender taking much damage, but Drunken Master has that untouchable up and is just trying to tear through this ultimate from Magmus, doing a ton of damage. And Drunken still somehow alive, will finally fall. In the meantime, Senelix and Smithix both die. Fastic already dead on the Dr. Repulsor. Kraken's teleport can be cancelled by Kelfield. He will fall. Fastic buys back, comes in again, so that's going to be a genocide so far, except for Fastic with the buyback. And he's going to take silence and another death, so the dieback from Dr. Repulsor will end up finishing off the genocide, the actual announcer called genocide for the in favor of the Hellborn side, and they're going to push on this middle tower, and I don't see any way the Legion side has it stopping them. Majestics does have a buyback on Kraken, but it's not release the Kraken he's got to the team. There's no point in using it. This is definitely going to be a mid-tower kill. We'll see if they can actually take Rax as well. I wouldn't be super surprised if they could. Obviously, Drunken Master not being here is a huge source of their damage, so that's why they're just... it's kind of sad how little they do without him. They're going to work on the Rax here and see what they can do. Both supports are going to be up in a couple of seconds, and the are already alive. But they got 15 full seconds here before either of the farmers show up on the Legion side, so I suspect there's going to be a mid-Rax death. Meanwhile, Magmus jumping in off to the side before taking the ultimate from Moa, but not going to be enough, and she will die. They're going to try to turn this onto Ravener, and Rax, kill the Rax, kill the Rax, kill the Rax. Thank you.
Legion barracks has been destroyed.
Magmus looking for the sun, trying to save his buddy, and Balthazar will take the Portal Lightning though, and die, so Magmus getting away with the Portal Key. He should be okay here. Buys an Abyssal Skull just in case. But it's still not bought out, so he's alright though. The rest of the Legion side not chasing, so they lose mid-Rax, obviously, as well as the death on Nymphora, but they trade bubbles for it, so perhaps not the best initiation and decision-making there, but whatever. Taking Rax obviously really important. Meanwhile, Dr. Repulsor can jump in here. Lobster doesn't connect, but Drunken Master getting locked down a bit. Fork Lightning not there. He's going to pop the Shrunken and the Lush Legion side now. All of a sudden has to run away. Puts the stun out and drops the energy field into a bunch. Actually, his Engineer has a Portal Key as well. Release the Kraken, not doing too much. Slows him down a little bit, but does not stop his death. So Kraken will be the only one to fall here, as it looks like. Neither side is going to reinitiate. So Portal Key's glowing on the Hellborn side. Meanwhile, actually, nope. Pebble's going to jump onto Drunken Master. Missing the ball lightning there is Ravener. He's also taking the Zeal Stun, but Viper's going to be the first one to fall. Master Arm's going to follow him in the Afterlife. Stalagmites will help finish off Magnus, as Ravener's looking for the kill on Nymphora as well. Will get it. Now looks like going to have to try to run away. Drops the Chuck there and the ball lightning. Going to try to turn this around onto Dr. Repulsor. Will not be able to do so. Way too easy to fall, so ends up being a 3 for 3 there in favor of Legion side. They lost 2 supports and their Kraken in exchange for the opposing, all 3 of the opposing team's farmers. No, sorry, Magnus as opposed to Balthazar on that bubbles. But Magnus still sitting at 300 gold per minute, so you know, perhaps he is a farmer. I mean, he's out farming everybody on the Legion side except for Dr. Repulsor, so who am I to say he's not a farmer, right? Meantime, though, things are looking really, really good here for Sweet Like Ice as they're sitting at 20k gold experience up. Obviously, having the mid-Rax down, very, very important. Top lane Balthazar pushing this in. Tower's not too low, so I suspect he won't be able to do too much, but obviously getting some damage on it, not a bad idea. Meanwhile, Kongor should be back up relatively soon, so we'll see what they choose to do. My suspicion would be that they're going to wait this out a little bit, wait for a token, get Kongor, and push in once more, try to take out a second lane. And obviously, once you have 2 lanes down, it's so hard to come back. Mid lane, few ports coming in, actually, as we'll see what they're going to choose to do. Viper just going to head straight for the middle lane. Obviously finishing off his breastplate and his Shrunken. Very powerful, very difficult to kill. We saw that in the last fight. He just lived for so long. You know, he got jumped by like 3 heroes, and it was still not enough to take him down for like 30 or 45 seconds. Meanwhile, Nymphora gets jumped here by the Portal Keys, and she's dead. So 4 PKs obviously on this Hellborn side. Ravener has picked up his own. And Drunken Master with a relatively long-range initiation doesn't really need it either. Mid-Rax here will be finished off as the melee
A Legion barracks has been destroyed.
And we'll see what they choose to do. They drop a Ward of Sight in the base. And looks like they're going to try to take down this top tower. Obviously, Nymphora not the most important hero in the world, and they're a little bit spread out on the Hellborn side as Ravener's interested in killing the creeps, and the rest of them are tanking up that tower damage. Kongor, meanwhile, just respawns. So I think that's where they should probably be heading, and that's where it looks like they are heading. Obviously the wards here providing plenty of vision, so If they try to come over here on the Legion side, it's going to be difficult. On the other hand, they have an Amphora, so that matters. Meanwhile, we're jumping here by Ravener, and a whole bunch are going to go off the bat. Ravener, Energy Field gets onto a bunch. Nighty on the Pebbles dies very quickly. Xenolex here also going to probably join him. Astronaut's also going to fall. Kraken taking a whole bunch of punishment, and he's going to die, so really good jump there by Ravener. As they fake the back, as Legion probably thought, yeah, they're just going for Conqueror, we're totally fine, but Ravener gets ball landing onto 2, Magnus follows up the Lava Surge onto 2, and they end up getting 3 people killed. Kelpler dropped in the launches, Rogue into field, but now the Pulsar's mad. A bunch of the Helpers are low, but they're going to kill him first, as it was just him versus 5, really. Meanwhile, jump to the side, as Magnus will get the pick on Amphora, and that's going to be Genocide.
A Legion barracks has been destroyed.
That's the second lane down here.
A Legion barracks has been destroyed.
As nobody in the Legion have a buyback, and I cannot imagine them coming back from this. $33K gold, 34K experience down, and Legion side aren't CCing quite yet. A little surprising, I think. I mean, this. Oh, there it is. Well, it's not that surprising, I guess. This is just best of 1, so yeah, there it is. So, YLTP knocked out here in the round of 16 as Sweet Like Ice take them out. Obviously, Sweet Like Ice having a really good early game, and then getting a little bit too over-aggressive, but bringing it back here in the mid-late game, and doing pretty well in their performance here against You Love to Party. Certainly not a bad idea, or not a bad performance at all by their team, as they're just cleaning up some random kills on DC players. Viber, for some reason, still in this game, killing all sorts of stuff in the DCs. Anyway, well played to Sweet Like Ice, and they will move on to the round of 8.